Welcome back to Respoiled. Today, I have another captivating story to share with you. But before we dive in, if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so you'll never miss out on all of my latest uploads. Now let's get started. An archived video features a U.S. Air Force commander detailing their investigations into recent UFO sightings, dispelling rumors of secret projects. A major emphasizes the significance of considering extraterrestrial life seriously in his book. In a Pennsylvania town, a family dining together experiences a violent tremor and explosion, causing a power outage and rendering them unconscious. Upon awakening, they suffer from illness and strange noises. Each family member perishes, leaving the youngest girl to seek refuge in the cupboard. Meanwhile, Nobel Prize laureate and former NASA exobiologist Lauren grapples with the aftermath of her arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol. Despite medicating her depression, she continues to imbibe alcohol. As she watches the news, she learns of the unexplained explosion. Reporters detail the lack of survivors and the toxic air, prompting the closure of the area to unauthorized individuals. Later, soldiers arrive at Lauren's residence, compelling her to join them at the explosion site under threat of violence, leveraging her expertise. Upon arrival, she encounters astrobiologist David and Colonel Emmerich, who elucidates that the explosion and ensuing toxic gas resulted from a meteorite dissolving into the ground. Emmerich tasks Lauren and David with investigating the area in hopes of finding a resolution. Clad in hazmat suits, they are escorted by bus to the meteorite crash site. While David finds little of interest, Lauren spots a small red plant flourishing in the crater, captivated by its presence but omitting it from her report. Later that evening, Lauren fixates on a picture of the peculiar plant, scouring the web for accounts of other meteorite crashes. She unearths a video depicting a similar event in Russia. An object plummeted to Earth, leading to the area's closure due to toxic air. A local with military connections reveals that Russia concealed details about the object, which turned out to be a seed that spawned a lethal tree, decimating all life nearby. The Russian authorities eradicated the tree, but the woman who shared the video was fatally shot days later in front of her children. Concerned citizens share images and theories about the sealed-off town and the evacuation of neighboring areas, which ultimately met with incineration. The following day, two doctors prepared to autopsy Rob, the deceased father. His skin appears remarkably intact, lacking the typical rigidity of a corpse. Upon making the initial cut, an eerie luminescent liquid seeps from the wound, swiftly reabsorbing and prompting rapid self-healing. Rob abruptly sits up, prompting one doctor to bolt in terror while another attempts communication, but Rob remains unresponsive. Despite checking his pulse, the doctor finds no signs of blood flow or blood pressure, and Rob's body is notably cold. Simultaneously, phones across the room erupt into ringing, and staff members hurry down the corridor. Investigating, they find deceased individuals from the contaminated town now upright. Word spreads quickly, attracting hordes of reporters and fueling speculation among religious factions outside the facility. Lauren declines David's assistance despite her distress. Doctors attempt to elicit responses from the reanimated by displaying family photos, but to no avail. Testing reveals that only 49 of the 1,300 deceased individuals have been reanimated, likely due to their proximity to the meteorite impact. Inhalation of toxic air and meteorite particles appears to be altering their internal organs. Occasionally, the resurrected individuals move, albeit aimlessly. Lauren discusses the Russian incident with Emmerich, suggesting a connection, but he's skeptical due to her unconventional sources. A White House briefing reports on the reanimated. They lack vital signs, brain activity, and basic biological functions. Their organs contain unknown compounds and their DNA appears to have undergone mutation into a distinct life form, possibly extraterrestrial. The identical new genetic sequence present in each victim suggests a deliberate pattern rather than random occurrence. A military leader suggests disposing of the bodies through incineration, prompting Lauren to present her theory regarding the Russian incident and the possibility of being targeted. She warns of the potential for an attack on a major city if a solution isn't found. Despite her evidence being limited to internet images, leading to skepticism, the president rejects incineration and instructs scientists to continue their investigation. This exacerbates Lauren's depression, leading her to seek solace in alcohol while reminiscing about her childhood alone in her car. Her father had taken her to a secret location and instructed her to keep it hidden from everyone, including her mom. However, the memory abruptly ends due to her amnesia, leaving Lauren deeply unsettled. This emotional turmoil drives her to mix her medication with alcohol. Returning to the facility, Lauren observes the doctors allowing relatives to interact with the reanimated bodies, but there is no response. Seeking answers, she enters the room housing the reanimated bodies and engages a little girl with her favorite childhood book, recounting the story of her mother's passing and her own emotional detachment. In the midst of this, David calls her, revealing a picture of the crater plant as her phone wallpaper. The girl suddenly grasps Lauren's arm, prompting her to immediately inform Emmerich and David. David then realizes that the bodies consistently orient themselves northward, toward the crater. Their discussion is interrupted by news that images of the giant tree-like structure growing from the crater have leaked to the media. The scientists transport Rob in a secure box to the crash site, where they observe the mysterious tree responsible for the area's toxicity. Placing Rob in front of the tree, they wait anxiously until he suddenly gasps and opens his now bright blue eyes. As Rob surveys his surroundings, including his own hands, the tree, and the snow, Lauren deduces that he is now an alien. Welcoming him to Earth, she learns from Rob that he cannot return with the team due to his inability to survive in Earth's natural environment. During a press conference, Lauren explains that just as Earth's plants provide oxygen for humans, the tree is essential for the aliens' survival. The prevailing theory suggests that the aliens travel to Earth through wormholes. Some reporters attempt to divert the conversation by questioning Lauren about her recent arrest, which catches the attention of a mysterious man watching on TV. Later, at home, Lauren listens to a message from her therapist expressing concern about her missed sessions, which are mandated by the court. The therapist also wants to discuss Lauren's recurring dreams involving flying. Ignoring the message, Lauren prepares lunch until she hears a knock at the door. It's her father, Jim. He makes Lauren feel very awkward, and she remains quiet, but Jim continues talking, recalling how as a child, Lauren was fascinated with space and requested her own lab, which they built in the shed. Jim expresses his loneliness and longing for her, but Lauren avoids his attempts to hug her, maintaining her distance, prompting Jim to leave. Soon after, Lauren is summoned to the toxic area again because the alien refuses to communicate with anyone except her. Once she's suited up, Lauren sits with Rob, who explains that his home planet became uninhabitable, compelling his species to seek a new world. The tree won't thrive anywhere else, and they received the coordinates to reach Earth from a human named Supernova 94. This person sent messages into space hoping to connect with them, even sharing humanity's strengths and weaknesses. As the scientists attempt to take a sample from the tree, Rob implores Lauren to halt them, but she is unable to intervene. Lauren clarifies that the tree cannot remain as it is detrimental to Earth's environment, but Rob insists his species will alter the environment. He also discloses his special abilities before commandeering a scientist's body to compel him to open his hazmat suit. Guards rush to restrain the possessed man while others encircle Rob, demanding an end to his actions as they escort Lauren away. Rob's eyes darken, and the scientist breaches a soldier's mask, infecting him rapidly, causing him to cough up blood until he succumbs. The soldiers prepare to shoot Rob, but he unleashes his powers once more, emitting a piercing sound that incapacitates everyone in excruciating agony while plunging the area into darkness. The torment drives the soldiers to madness, prompting them to remove their masks and mercilessly turn on each other. One by one, they fall to bullets or knives wielded by their own comrades until only one remains, who ultimately succumbs to self-deletion. Following the arrival of a truck to remove the bodies, along with the scientists, including Lauren, the military launches an assault on the tree, only to find it shielded by a formidable force field. Despite the missiles exploding harmlessly against it, causing no damage to the tree, the planes are forced to retreat. Soon, news outlets start discussing the force field and the name Supernova 94. The mysterious man is stunned to hear the name on the radio and searches for an old notebook where he wrote the same word. Later, reporters document peculiar events worldwide. Some cities hear strange sounds, while a mysterious fog in certain towns is fatal. Martial law is imposed in several countries, worsened by crops dying overnight. Reports of ground vibrations spread panic. Meanwhile, Lauren chooses to revisit her childhood home. Her old lab remains, but it's locked. Jim sits alone in his room, consumed by depression. Despite his state, Lauren avoids visiting him and continues her journey. She feels lost, disconnected, and strangely relieved as the world approaches its end. Eventually, she returns to the alien tree, now undergoing significant changes. Suddenly, the ground trembles, and Lauren hears unfamiliar noises. Rob attributes it to new life emerging and discloses that it's all because of Lauren. He offers his hand, initiating a flood of suppressed memories when she touches it. Lauren discovers Jim's past involvement with a senator, including a visit to Area 51. While the grown-ups discussed business, young Lauren roamed and overheard them discussing an alien's arrival on Earth. The creature, capable of flight, couldn't survive Earth's conditions but attempted to plant something here. Intrigued, she ventured further and encountered the alien inside the pod, which she touched without hesitation. This contact initiated a process transferring the alien's consciousness into Lauren's body, altering her DNA and turning her into an alien, akin to Rob's transformation. Upon returning home, young Lauren displayed remarkable intelligence, scribbling complex calculations on the wall and even crafting a rocket design. She insisted on being an alien and longing to return home, but no one believed her, leading to her feeling awkward and socially isolated. Eventually, she constructed a radio and began communicating with the aliens under the pseudonym Supernova 94, inspired by her space-themed calendar. Upon her mother's discovery, she locked up the shed and banned further contact with strangers, prompting Lauren to destroy her room and issue a grim prophecy before her mother's demise, caused by her alien abilities. Following this, government scientists, under Jim's guidance, conducted tests on Lauren, uncovering the alien DNA intertwined with her own, though Jim kept this information from her. In the present, while Lauren mourns her recollected memories, Rob removes her mask unexpectedly. To her surprise, she finds herself able to breathe the toxic air due to her mutated DNA. Meanwhile, the enigmatic man recollects his past working for the CIA and recalls intercepting Lauren's messages with his equipment, though his warnings were dismissed. In a remote forest, a dog leads its owner to a massive egg-like pod emerging from the ground, causing strange noises. Similar pods begin appearing worldwide, triggering speculation about aliens. Eventually, these pods explode simultaneously, releasing black smoke that spreads and kills people, leading to Earth becoming uninhabitable for humans. Lauren, the sole survivor, discovers her newfound ability to fly. Don't forget to like, subscribe and enable notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.